Hello everyone, welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here, the first week after our very successful all-out pay-per-view, even if I was somewhat disappointed by the results. That's neither here nor there. Here on, again, first week after, and we start off with the Young Bucks doing their normal intro to BTE. And talking about, how well All Out went, but Matt Jackson seems a bit quieter than normal. But, before they sign off, before they get to the extra segments, Matt begins to talk a little bit extra, and he says, you know what, AEW has always been touted on its tag team division, but right now it's all a bunch of jokes. Look at the records, everyone's god-awful except for the shitty little team randomly thrown together old guys who couldn't make it in the singles division. Everyone here sucks. Honestly, it kind of pisses me off, because you have the greatest team in the world, the Young Bucks, and we're playing second fiddle to those losers up top. So you know what, Nick? I think it's time we fix this fucking division. I think we have to show AEW why we're the best, why we're killing the business. I was kind of debating on what that hot catchphrase would be. Just kind of went with a killing the business. It's kind of generic, but it works. So yeah, they're kind of just calling it the tag team division. A lot of our records are pretty bad. Division is 9-0, but aside from that, I think our next best is like 5-1. We have a lot of teams that aren't really doing all too much. A lot of teams that have kind of been very wishy-washy on. So gotta really... That's just me almost calling out myself for being bad at booking the tag team division. So, whatever. After this, Kota Ibushi is seen backstage with his world title. He's approached by Kenny Omega, who hugs him. Kenny then congratulates Kota on his win before Fergal Devitt approaches. Kenny, understandably, is immediately on edge, but Devitt just holds his hands up and says, "Don't worry, I'm not here to do anything bad. You won that title fair and square, and it's not my place to try to take that from you. I just wanted to congratulate you as well. Just know that I will be coming for that title too. Not yet, it's not my time, but I will soon enough. Just know that." So here, it's to a good, long title reign until I get there. And Devitt just smiles, hands Kota a bottle of wine before walking off, and both of the Golden Lovers are like, what the hell just happened? Devitt acting a little bit weird, but, he's being... Devitt right now, I do have him set as a face. He's kind of a tweener. He's very respectful, but he is determined to end up winning eventually. So, maybe this is... Oh, is this some kind of mind games? Probably not. But, still, Devitt just being respectful. After this, Adam Page is seen at a bar drinking away. He's approached by Kurt Angle coming in. And Kurt just says, "You need to stop drinking, Adam." And then he orders a glass of milk. You keep doing that, you'll be in no spot to get anywhere. Yeah, I know, it's easy to drink, but it's hurting you if you keep doing it. Just get out there, keep fighting, Hangman. I know you don't want to join Team Angle, but we're going to help you as long as it doesn't compromise our own position. And Hangman kind of thinks about it for a bit before smiling. Thanks Kurt for the help. Probably even, does a little bit of a toast with his glass of whiskey, and then chugs it. And Kurt was like, "God damn it, I just told you not to drink." So, hopefully getting a little bit better with my BTE segments? Probably not. And then we start off with Dark Proper. Tommy Hayashishita defeats Kira Hogan. Top Flight defeats Aussie Open. Ray Phoenix defeats Colt Cabana. Mayu Iwatani defeats Alexia Nicole. Samoa Joe defeats Jake Hager. And then we have a long-awaited episode of The Waiting Room, where Britt Baker has the Queen's Court, although they are noticeably without Ashley Flair. Court said that Ashley is away to plan revenge on Maki Ito for beating her. But before there's any response from Britt Baker, the VIP's club entered the set saying that if Flair is running because of one measly loss, then she's not a queen. And Tenille just continues this by saying that having a queen of pro wrestling is a lot of shit because Flair has done nothing to earn it. And Britt Baker's like, yeah, no, that's true. And that angers the Queen's Court. However, they know that they're outnumbered. It's 4-3, so it's enough outnumbering. Bernice is just like, hold up, Lydia, hold up, Christina. We'll deal with this. Not our place to deal with this. And they just walk off. The VIPs seem content, but Britt Baker's like, hey, you crashed my set, my show. You weren't invited. And so before the VIPs can react, Cynthia Regal puts Deanna into a sleeper hold. And Britt Baker lunges up to attack Tenille, probably even puts her in a lockjaw. And when both Diona and Tenille are incapacitated, Britt Baker just calmly signs off the waiting room. He's like, hey, how about you don't interrupt my show that I'm hosting when I haven't invited you? So, yeah. A little bit of a storyline starting up. I have given Ashley Flair a few months off just because she was very angry at losing to Maki. Her, Gail Kim, and Orange Cassidy have time off. Orange Cassidy, more of just a storyline thing, honestly. After this, the Future defeats GKFAM. I don't actually know if that's, what that stands for, what the team is. Prima Donnie and Piper Donnie. Brought them in recently. They're more people to just kind of feed to the tag division. So yeah. Dustin Rhodes then defeats Lee Johnson. Andrew Everett defeats Nobuhiro Shimatami. And I'm just going to change the gimmick, poor, but it is marketable, so I'll take it. And then to end off Dark, Sammy Guevara defeats Brody Lee with a 630. You might have noticed that we have a lot, I've actually gone through, changed almost everyone's picture, just, almost like a new season. So, I mean, it is going to be a new season. We had one storyline advance in the waiting room, but we will see how things go on our first Dynamite after All Out. Our show of Dynamite begins with Ricochet's in-ring debut as he defeats Christopher Daniels with a standing shooting star press. After this, Antonio Banks enters the ring with a mic. I told all of you that I had a marquee new debut at all, and he's already 1-0, but I'm not just content with the good record or just winning the matches without winning a title. No. It's a ways off, but I'm already announcing that Ricochet is going to win the TNT title in his first challenge. And right after he says that, Garza's music hits, and the reigning champ walks out onto the stage, understandably so. And Garza says, you really think that you're going to beat me? The last time we were in a ring together, I won. Plus, I'm a champion, and I am a god. What are you, some lousy man who can't even talk for himself? Consider your challenge denied, Ricochet. You don't deserve this title. So, basically, that whole line about last time we were in a ring together, I'd actually looked it up. Garza and Ricochet had a lot of triple, or six-man tag matches on Main Event, and Garza won every single one of them. It was a 9-0 record against Ricochet in Trios tag match, which, sure, that's not really going to be a focus of this, because one, it's Main Event, two, it's not WWE, but still, Garza said, Ricochet, he wants that challenge. He's going to, he put up a 69 in his debut, which is very nice. Funny number. But, Garza, he's saying, hey, you want me? You're going to have to build up that record. And that's really something I'm trying to build. I want people to actually go for the record. I want that record to actually matter. After this, we see a strange vignette. A dark screen is shown before the face of Rosemary pops up. It says, there are forces beyond the mortal realm. Too long has the power slept, too long it's become something we cannot hold back. It calls in the night and it rings in the ears of all who would hear. People merely need to open their eyes and listen. Open their eyes and see, open their ears and listen. Listen to me, the herald of the Risen One. The Risen One will come back with fire and with vengeance. AEW Dynamite is not prepared for the Risen One to return. AEW Dynamite fears what it does not know. This roster does not know true fear. When the Risen One arrives, there will be naught but decay for those who fail to believe. Listen to my calls and bend the knee. This is something where, okay, honestly, I'll be honest. The person that I am thinking of signing, that this whole storyline is built around, don't actually have it confirmed yet. So I'm going to go on a limb and hope that it actually works. But basically, we need more supernatural stuff in here, right? I always like the supernatural stuff. It's, it's my style of writing. And we are going to pour. It's fine. I'm fine with that. That's whatever. Rosemary, the herald of the Risen One. We'll see who this is in due time. After this, Hikaru Shida defeats Layla Hirsch with the Majino Jigeki, and then Anna Jay approaches ringside, leaning over the ropes. She says, "Congrats, you won the 3-team tag match at All Out. Good for you, but there's still something missing. See, if I remember correctly, and I do, you didn't pin me. You're still not a champion, and you haven't proven anything. You lost your belt, and you've lost time and time again when it matters most. So, you know what? I think it's my turn. I'm not ready to just give up and be lingering in the background while I'm the star prodigy of AEW, when I am the hottest prospect that this women's division has to offer. So, you know what? We've already met in the ring before, but let's go at it one-on-one, Shida, me versus you, and I'll prove that the Dark Order is going to be damned if we'll die, because we're not going to die." Of course, Ty Conti, alongside with with Anna Jay, and then Jay kind of just smiles, laughs, lazily tosses the mic to Shida, makes the thumbs down, walks off, and Shida's like, "Oh, okay." So Anna Jay going after Hikaru Shida. After this, we join Alex Marvez. He's outside a very luxurious mansion. He's escorted by Chris Bay and led to MJF, who is very visibly angry. Marvez just asks, what's MJF going to do now that he's no longer champion? MJF grabs Marvez's mic, forcefully pushes him away, and stares at the camera. He says, "Make sure you get every word. I'm MJF, the greatest pro wrestler that this business has, and that's still true. I may not be champion. That bastard Kota Ibushi may have taken my title, but I'm not just going to lay down and let him walk all over me. No, I still need to be active. It'll be a while before I'm back in the running for my title. But I still need to prove that I'm the best. See, this company is filled with absolute legends of the sport. Mick Foley, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Sting, Kurt Angle, all of them. But all of those are too old and too hurt to even pretend to hold a candle to me. But there's one that's still there, one of the greatest of all time, Chris Jericho. Some may say he's the GOAT, but I say that he's going down, because he has no chance against me, because I'm better than him, and he knows it. So MJF challenging Chris Jericho, something I'm surprised I have not done yet. Of course, this is a little bit inconvenient, because this is right at, as of the time of me recording this is right as that feud is actually going on in real AEW. I'm actually recording this a day after Fyter Fest, or 2 days after Fyter Fest, night 2. You can tell how far I am behind on uploads, but MJF, he wants to go out, he wants to take down Chris Jericho. After this, Moxley and Kingston defeat Willpower when Jon Moxley pins Willie Mack. Actually, really good ratings. Oh yes, and Phil Devitt was at the announcer desk. So he was on commentary for the match, and he says that during the match, he wants to challenge Jon Moxley. So afterwards, Devitt, he gets up, and he's like, the law announcer says, "Hey, I want to challenge you to Moxley." And he still needs to prove that he's not a castaway. Yes, he's already beaten Kenny Omega in a best 2 out of 3 series, but he still needs to keep shooting for the top. But Devitt is very accommodating. If Moxley wants, Devitt will find a partner, and they can just do some tag team matches. But otherwise, he's content with just taking on Moxley 1v1. Kingston and Moxley talk in the ring a little bit as Devitt begins to walk off before Moxley accepts the challenge, saying that it'll be a fair and square match. They'll only have one match. The winner gets the spot for the world title match, while the other drops out of the rankings. So right now, Devitt is number 3 in the rankings, Moxley is number 4. My rankings right now are Miro, Pac, Devitt, Moxley, and Adam Page. Those are our top 5 for the world title. So basically this is, lots of title implications for this match. They're only going to have the one match. They don't want any fluke. Well, I mean, they're fine with flukes. They know that, hey, it's part of the business. Sometimes, the smarter man wins. Kingston, of course, going to be in Moxley's corner, but Devitt, he's still going to really be going out there. He's going to try to win Moxley. He wants to try to win. He wants to get another chance at the world title, which he hasn't had in... I mean, he hasn't had yet. He hasn't had another chance since he lost it. So, he's hoping to get a little bit of a rebound. After this, I just needed to fill a... Not necessarily fill time. because I actually ran right to the edge of the 125, or however long it is, that I have, and yeah, 125. Just needed to get a little segment to break up the action so that there's a little bit of time for things to get set up for the next stuff. Just recapping All Out, where Kota Ibushi won the world title from MJF, Kenny Omega lost to Fergal Devitt, Kana won again, Division won again, Samoa Joe beat Cody, I think that was a match on the pay-per-view, Darby Allin defeated Ace Austin, and he's never going to join the Inner Circle. Lots of things to just bring up about All Out. And, obviously we have the pictures of, some of the big spots that happened during the match, during the pay-per-view. Just in the pictures, be like, hey, you should buy the pay-per-view later. Then we have Team Angle defeating the Butcher and the Blade. And Zack Sabre Jr. with an 85. Very nice. Now this Taz comes to the stage, flanked by Brian Cage and Jeff Cobb. He says, look, Kurt, we've been keeping this on for a damn long time. I think it's time we finally prove it. We are having a final matchup. We're finally finishing each other's ambitions for the best team in AEW. But of course, with Joe focusing on Cody, I'm a bit outnumbered. Plus, I ain't got a bona fide tag team like you got with FTR, so let's just say I made a few calls to a few people, and Team Taz got some new boys in store. Right as he finishes that, the Briscoes rush in from the crowd and begin beating down Zack Sabre Jr. and Charles Betts to easily take him down, as Kurt Angle is hopeless to watch. Taz tells the Briscoe brothers not to attack Kurt Angle, and the Briscoes agree, joining Cage, Cobb, and Taz on the ramp. So the Briscoes have joined Team Taz. Team Taz actually does outnumber Team Angle by a little bit, even before adding in the Briscoes, but Joe, he's almost like a free agent with that. Ricky Starks is, he's not part of this group, but, Ricky Starks is still there, but Joe, he's kind of tangentially a member of Team Taz, mainly joined it just to get at Kurt Angle, probably going to amicably leave at some point, or maybe unamicably, I don't know yet. Maybe he won't leave. Again, I don't know. But Briscoes are now part of Team Taz. After this, Jim Ross has a sit-down interview with Kana, asking out of dominance over the women's division. And Kana just says, no one is able to defeat me, Jim. I'm the greatest wrestler in the company, and at All Out, I proved that I dragged a rookie, an unskilled, out of her league nobody, to the best match on the show. It wasn't. And I see what most people post online, that I was the best performer of the night, that no one can even come close to me. So you know what? I'll say this to all of my competitors. I know all of you in order, and I know that you are nothing compared to me. Come at me when you're ready. Simply make the call to Tony, make the call to Paul. I will accept your challenges. Big Swole, I'm ready. Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Maki Ito, Anna Jay, I will let you all come at your own pace. I may as well be generous to all of you, because I am the Empress, and I am unkillable. So yeah, honestly, that was actually just a list of our top 5 contenders. I believe someone else is tied record for Anna Jay for 6th, but I forget who off the top of my head. But those are our rankings. All of them have pretty much only gotten wins on Dark, so they're the first 3 are all unimportant. The other 2 are recognizable. Kana is a star. Honestly, should be mega star, but whatever. So yeah, Kana just trying to assert her dominance over the women's division. Ricky Starks' reason he wasn't there was because he was losing to Miro. Well, later on he lost to Miro. Then Miro quickly pops up after submitting Ricky Starks with game over. He's yelling that he's ready for Kota Ibushi. He wants that title run, and he's waiting for Kota to be ready. Heyman comes up from backstage and is like, hey, Kota's going to be ready in his own time, but once Kota announces that he is ready, Miro's going to have his match. This angers Miro, who wants his match sooner rather than later, but Heyman's like, look, I'm just the spokesman, Kota Ibushi, he'll tell me when he's ready for this marquee match. I can't do anything about it. Probably could, but he won't. And our worst segment of the night, cut to backstage where we see Maki Ito lying on the floor, put through the catering table, and into some cake. Why is there cake at catering? I don't know. Judging by the voice behind the phone camera that this is filmed on, it is Viper's behind the camera as it pans over to a extra attractive looking Penelope Ford. You can tell that Ford has put some extra time into her appearance for this. And she says, "Oh hey, I didn't notice you there. See, I was just sitting back and relaxing, enjoying my time, when I realized that someone dared to say that they were the cutest in the world. Well, since that's obviously me, I needed to prove them wrong. Listen, all of you Maki Ito simps, all you ugly people out in the crowd, they want to prove that they're quirky because they like these Japanese girls, because you're all weirdos. Maki Ito isn't cute. Maki Ito is a failure of an idol, a failure of a wrestler, and more importantly, she's ugly. The Rose Garden is where beauty goes to shine, and let's just say there's a reason that Cakeface here isn't invited into the garden. Now, if you don't mind, I have a photo shoot to get to, and you're with me. Right, Vipers? Vipers agrees, shuts off the video feed, and they walk back, and the commentator's like, "Oh, okay, why did we have cake in catering?" Bit of an old school story, but obviously I'm not going to, I'm not going to book any bra and panties matches, because it's 2021, that's dumb. But a little bit of a very petty feud right now, but that's perfectly fine. After this, Adam Page defeats Samoa Joe, the Buckshot Lariat. After the match, Kenny Omega gets up from the commentary desk with a mic, and he says, "Look, Adam, sorry about all that I did to you a year ago. We were a team, and I stabbed you in the back to further myself, and look where that got me. How's about this, Adam? We both are in slumps. Neither of us have won anything of note since we lost the title. Since we lost the tag title. I want us to get back up to the top. I want us to win the world title. So let's redeem ourselves. We need to prove that we're better than our place in the company, and the best way to do that is to show that we can put up absolute bangers of matches. We'll agree to support each other, no matter who wins. Okay?" And Kenny offers a hand for a handshake with Hangman Page, but Hangman actually declines the shake and leaves, as the show fades to black with Kenny standing in the middle of the ring with his hand outstretched. We get a 76 on the show. Very nice. Our angles did very well. Our matches were okay. I'm happy with a lot of green, even if it's the lighter green. That's still fine. Obviously, this undercard women's feud between the Rose Garden and Maki Ito is going to be a little bit lesser rating. I do need to definitely work on building my undercard feuds more. I feel like I'm decent at getting those top-of-the-card feuds, those world title feuds, those, the Devitt versus Omega, Omega versus Kota. I feel like I can get a pretty solid grasp on those, but it's just the undercard that I really need to work on. So I'm going to hopefully do that for this quote-unquote second season of AEW, now that we have another, our 5th pay-per-view off the books, 5th actual pay-per-view. So, next time we'll see how things advance in AEW.